So today we're passed through for some basic beginner bullshit. If you don't know what basic beginner bullshit is, it's these tricks that pretty much anyone could do that doesn't require much skill. This one in particular isn't really a self-working trick. This is more like a little semi-self-working trick that you guys got to put a little bit of work in. You can't just be like the anyways, you can't just have everything your way all the time. So sometimes you gotta give a little bit to get something. So in this case, I'm gonna show you guys some basic beginner bullshit. So for this trick, you can have the deck shuffled. It could be borrowed. It could be a deck that you find in the hands of a small child. So in this case, I'm gonna use this Aviator deck, which is always a great deck to use. It makes me feel like I'm really flying into these card tricks. So you give the spectator the deck, they could shuffle it, and this is actually crazy because what?
Guys, this is crazy. I've never seen this before.
You have two spectators select cards here, so it's not just one. This isn't some like basic beginner shit. This is some next level, highly advanced shit. So two people get cards picked. In this case, we'll have these two memorized. So we got the 10 of clubs and the 3 of diamonds. Of course, I don't know this, so at this point, I could take some sort of memory retarded drugs. But the 10 goes in the middle. That card gets shuffled into the deck as best you know how. Of course, it doesn't matter if you drop cards. That only adds to the illusion here. Son of a. Okay, so the 3 of diamonds goes in the middle of the deck, and you're ready to go. So you have the spectator. You tell them, hey, do you want to shuffle? And when they say yes, you go, fuck you. This is my show. You don't touch the deck. You piece of shit. I'm on to you. Trying to touch my shit, motherfucker. So you give the decks a little bit of a mix, and you tell the spectator to give you a number between 1 and 20. Let's say they give you number 12. You go, ha, that's fantastic. All right, let me deal out 12 cards here. And the spectator could do this at this point if you want them to touch your cards. If you're like that, I'm not like that. I don't like to get my cards dirty. So if you want, they could do this in their hand. So they count out 12 cards. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's fantastic. So now you tell the spectator that even though that was random, let's make this even more random. How about we get that randomly chosen number and we add up the digits. So 12 is what? 1 and 3, right? Ha, that's crazy because if we deal 3 cards here, that's 1, 2, the third one, it's actually one of your cards. What? Yeah, fucking mind freak right there. But wait, you're not done. You want me to do it again? Name a number between 1 and 20. Let's say he says 9. You go, okay, that's fantastic. And I'm going to deal 9 cards out here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'll tell you what, let's make this even more random. How about you give me just another number? They give you another number. Let's say they give you 4. All right, so that's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's crazy so far. The anticipation is building. You say, how about we add the digits up? Let's see how many cards we have. 9 plus 4. What's 9 plus 4? That's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's 13. So that means that it's a 1 and a 3, right? So let's count down 1. 1 plus 3 is what? 4. So we count down 4 cards. That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And even though everything's been random, this whole process, not only have you found the first card, but you've also found the second card. It's cleaning the cum off my hands from the inevitable ejaculation that the spectator would have. So this is, if you haven't recognized it, this is the 10/24. You've seen this often as you have the spectator call out any number between 10 and 20, and you count out however many those cards are, and then you add two digits together, and that, guess what? That's the force card right there. I've never liked that, so instead I decided, hey, how about you ask them to think of a number from 1 through 20, and if they name you a smaller number than 10, you ask them for a different number until you get to somewhere between 10 and 20. Fucking innovation. That way you're not asking for a specific odd number configuration. Like if I just say, hey, name me a number between 10 and 20, that to me screams, oh, that must be the math portion of this trick. However, if I have a person name 9 and I deal 9 cards, and then maybe name 4 or name 2, then it becomes more of a random process. So don't think that PigCake is not innovating. So this is based on a Ed Marlowe trick, what he does with the aces. But this one is you could do this with the 4 aces if you want. I'll show you how to do that in a bit. But pretty much what you want are 2 cards selected. And this is the only real work part of this entire trick because the rest kind of works itself. So you have 2 cards selected. In this case, we have the 2 of hearts and the 6 of diamonds. You control them to the top in whatever magical way you want. But you just get them together. That's kind of the point. So you get the cards on top of the deck however it is you want. Now the only bit of work that you actually got to do is you got to get 9 cards on top of this little situation you got here. So the best way to do that is by just doing an overhand shuffle and literally counting off the cards in a way that doesn't seem like you're counting off the cards. Let me explain. So you're doing this whole mix up, this whole shuffle, sort of false shuffle thing. At some point, you're going to just count off. The way I like to do it, I like to do the Leonard Green happy birthday method, which is in your head, you sing it's the 8, happy birthday to you, and that's going to be 6 cards, no matter what. So if you sing happy birthday as you run off single cards, it'll be 6 cards. So happy birthday to you, right there. So you can do that in your head as you're shuffling the cards. So it's going to be one happy birthday to you, which goes on top of the deck. So you run off 6 cards. That goes on top of the deck. You need now a happy burr. So at this point, you need to pretend like you're dyslexic if you're doing the same method here. And you count off 3 cards. So that's happy burr. And that goes on top. So now you've got 9 cards on top of your little stack, which means that your cards are now the 10th and 11th card, which is the appropriate position that they need to be in order for this force to work. So if you want, and you want to do this with the aces, you could just put the aces 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13 from the top. And the same trick will work if you follow the procedure. So at this point, you're just going to do a broken down version of the 10-24. So you're just going to ask them to name a number between 1 and 20. So if they say 21, then at that point, you leave because they don't have the mental capacity to understand your clever coordinated card tricks. So for this, let's say they name a number less than 10. Let's say they name 5. You go, oh, that's great. All right, let's deal out 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll tell you what, to make this more random, how about you give me just another number? At this point, there's not really very many options that they could give you, most of which, actually exactly half, would lead you to the position that you need to be, which is above 10 cards, so between 10 and 20. If they don't name a number that puts you in that position, you just keep asking them for numbers until you get to a point between 10 and 20. So let's say they say 5 here. You tell them, oh, let's make this even more random. Name me another number. They say 2 because they're a cunt. You go 1, 2. How about you name me another number? And at this point, it's inevitable that they'll probably get you over the stack. So let's say at that point, 5, 6, 7, they say 4. You go, that's fantastic. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that brings our total to 11, which means if we make this even more random and add those 2 digits together, you see what happens. 1, 2, and that's the first card. So notice what I did there. You count off the cards on a table, you put the cards in your hand on top, and that puts you in the right position to repeat the same trick again. So let me do that with the card face up so you kind of understand what's happening. So let's pretend the chosen card is 10th now. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we'll pretend like this is their card now. That card is 10th from the top. So let's say they name 12 for the sake of brevity. So that you deal out 12 cards. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You add the 2 digits together, which gives you what? Gives you 3. That's right. 1, 2, 3. So you're in a position right now where you could show the card and go, oh, that's fucking phenomenal. So what you need to do at this point, notice that you've dealt these cards on a table. Their card now gets placed to the side. You put this half on top of the pile on the table. You put this pile on top of this pile. And you're now ready to go for the second card, assuming that the card was in the 11th position. So if you do the procedure again, that card will be in the 11th position. Sorry, that card will pop up after the 4th. So to recap here, if you put the aces 10th, 11th, 12th, and 13th, the trick will work itself. If you control a card to the 10th position and another card to the 11th position, all you got to do is just pick the cards up like I told you, and you'll be ready to go again and reveal the second card and have all the sperm on the surface that you're performing for. So that's kind of a cool variation on the 10/24. I know it's overdone, and with that particular method, it prevents the spectators from backtracking and going, oh, wait a second. Let me name a number between 10 and 20. 13. Okay, let me add the digits up. Oh, it's the same fucking card every time. Gee, I wonder how that happened. So using this method, it kind of breaks down the 10 and 24. So the spectators really can't figure your shit out unless they're Rain Man, and therefore you really shouldn't be doing tricks for people like that anyway. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make good use of it. It helps you practice your numbers. So I'm going to go postulate the importance of regular, primal, masturbatory fears.
When I see you again, 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 when I see you again.